Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Yes. Okay. So today is going to be about you. And I think I will like to have more interactive session for today and tomorrow, as the last 2 days were more technical about web development and coding interviews, but today and tomorrow is more about you in terms of like presenting yourself, in terms of like what you want to do next. So, to start, before we do anything, I will have a few a poll that I'm sending in the chat, and I would like everyone to take a few seconds to respond. It's gonna be just 2 questions that to start the interaction. So sending the first right now is, are you currently seeking a job in software engineer or web development? Can you open this poll in the chat and answer it in the poll? Okay, got 3 votes so far. Okay, 5 vote. Give it a few more seconds before I close it. Okay, so we have a few that is looking for we have a few, let me close it right now. We have a few that is looking for the first job, and 40% are looking for a job right now, and 20% don't feel ready yet to apply. Another 20% no. Okay, so it's like the majority is either looking for a job or don't feel ready. Going to the next question. Yeah, planet. Have you participated in any other boot camps or similar program before? Okay, online courses, first time, welcome. Web development bootcamp. Okay, okay. Online courses, okay. So it looks like majority of people have been doing online courses on self-paced study. That's great. I think that's an advantage. That's so that you can learn even more by yourself. Okay, and if you have this is the first time. Great. Okay, let me close for now and let's start with the presentation. Okay, so today, as I said, it will be more interaction and more about yourself because as we're talking about standing out, there's no better person to be able to tell about you than you. So that's why I think about this today and tomorrow is more about having a interaction, having a conversation, and how I can help with presenting what you want to present yourself as. So I will go over a lot more about what the mentorship program involves. And also, I will talk about the agenda for today. I will talk about presenting yourself, creating your own profile. And when I mean talk about creating profile and it can help with resume and LinkedIn, I'll give some resume and LinkedIn tips. I also gonna go over something that is a lot of people might not know, but it's fun about GitHub and networking tips and building in public. So my name is Eli Paul, and I help developer launch their career. I'm a front-end engineer and web development educator and mentor. So I previously worked at IBM. I also work at CUNY Tech Prep as a web development TA, and I mentor a college student there that is looking and that is transitioning from college to their first job. So, what does the one-on-one the mentorship program involve? It is a one-on-one mentorship program where I'm going to meet with you one-on-one session for 8 weeks. So it will be focused to help you with your job search strategy, with preparing for your interviews, coding interviews, and also preparing your resume, LinkedIn, and different networking strategies. So basically, our plan to get our roadmap and our plan to help you to learn interviews and have confidence to apply for the role you're looking for. So, and I will be here for our help. So that way you're not gonna go to the process alone, especially if it is your first time. And doing that right now is not easy. Uh, the the job search right now is not easy, but having someone else, either a mentor or a group or a friend, that is helpful and that also can give you courage and motivation to continue. So what's the agenda for it? The agenda for it for the first week, we're gonna talk about your goal, set up a roadmap, and what it look like, what are the different steps you're gonna take, and what the process gonna look like, and set up your career goals. Week two, it will be about resume and LinkedIn profile review. When I mentioned resume and LinkedIn profile review, but I talking about creating your own profile, setting your goal in terms of like objective, what you kind of job you're looking for, and how you want to present yourself, and transfer that to your resume, transfer that to your LinkedIn profile. And we discuss and talk about job searching strategy, the different website we can go to looking for a job, and the other strategy in terms of like communicating with hiring managers and recruiter. So there's different strategy that being used to look for a job, but having a plan about like how many job you can apply per day because you don't want to have the job search to be your entire day because that's training. And you will be like you've been doing a lot and you're not seeing result. But instead of that, we will have a plan about like, okay, how much time you're gonna reserve for that, and what's gonna be the process, and make it easier for you to do job search and also do any other activity and other thing you have. Week 4, we will have a behavioral mock interview. So uh, basically, I will be like an interviewer for you and asking you uh, a question so you can practice the behavioral interview. Week 5, it will be if there's anything about web development fundamentals that you lack on or you need a refresh, we're gonna talk about that. And if there's also more uh framework or more things that we need to learn, and we're gonna talk about setting a study plan and a schedule to learn and practice and to grow your skill. Week 6 will be a coding interview prep. I give you tips about how to prepare, give you help and about like what to practice and what to work on. And then in week 7, we're gonna do the coding mock interview where I will be your interviewer and also interview it technically and see how you're doing. And week 8, that's where we're gonna talk about the networking strategy, have a wrap up, what's gonna be next, and any plan that's gonna help you to as we done to continue with the job seeking process because you already gonna have a roadmap about your goal. You will have a study plan, you will have your networking plan, and you will have like those process that you're gonna follow and continue with it. So that's the agenda for the mentorship program. And if you are interested about it, so the deadline to apply is July 31st. I will start with it from August 11 to October 11, so that's 8 weeks, 2 months for it. The price, the investment for it is like 2,500, but as for the bootcamp, as people that attend the bootcamp, there's a special offer for that end on Monday, July 21st for 1,000. And if you are interested about payment plan, we have also available payment plan that we can pay it in 3 months, about 834 a month. So let me know if you are interested. If you're ready to apply now, apply today. The link is there where you're gonna have the launching week offer price available, which end on Monday, July 21st. And if you want to talk more about how it fit, how it can help you, you can book a 15-minute pre-call with me where we can discuss that. And I think I'm gonna expand the 15-minute week call for next week also after this session. So if you need more time to discuss, we can talk about that. Is there any question? Okay. So let's start with presenting yourself. And I remember from the day one, I told you that we will go deeper into this in day 4. So, and then when we talk about looking inward and reflection, we talk about research and explore. And so I want to cover a lot more and go into it deeper. And if you have question, put it in the chat and I'll answer it. One of the reason that I go back into looking inward and reflection is because there's a lot of time that we don't take the time to pause and to think about what we have done, what we like to do, what we enjoy, what else can we do, and what the value that we bring. And that's something that is great to do and is personal in terms of like to find out a lot of skills that we don't have. For example, me studying the bootcamp right now, I will say a few months ago, probably during January and March, I wouldn't do it. The reason for that is because I would think that maybe it's too big of something. I kind of like I do mentorship, I do teach, but I never done something myself and for an entire week. And I someone that don't like to. I'm an introvert. I don't like to speak that much. I mostly kind of like only say what I need to say, not more than that. So thinking about all of that, I would think that probably I wouldn't be able to do the bootcamp. But when I'm thinking about, yes, for 4 years, I've been a web development teacher assistant, basically talking about web development. For uh, from February to now, I've been doing webinar about web development weekly, every week. I'm also contributing, also someone that is working is important in my community, in my church. So in committees and talk, presenting and preaching. So when I'm thinking about all that, I realize I do have the skills for to do it. And I'm thinking about every time I'm talking with a friend or family member about something I know, and the way I talk about it is more in the sense of teaching or explaining to make sure that they understand. And that's also uh another thing that I realize I do have the skill. Now I need to just put it in action and apply it and work on it. So there's a lot of skills and values that you probably right now have that if you don't take time to think about it, reflect on what you have done, ask a friend, talk with family member, you might not even realize that you have it. So that's why the looking inward and reflection is important. And when you find those skills and those value, you can start to research. And I did share a link uh, in day one. Let me see if I can find it again to yeah, I can open it. And that's when you can start to research and go to the Google Dream Career and list out the skill, Google Dreamer. The Google Career Dreamer and list out those skills and see which role that you can use those skill for. So and that's when that you connect your skill, your value with a specific role, a specific job title if you want to. And when you have that, if you when you have that, you can focus on 1, 2, 3 job title. You determine your goal. What's the goal? What's the value that you bring, and what do you prefer? So, and every time you determine a goal, and every time you think about the skills, the value, you use your past, what you've done before, as a proof to your skill, as something that shows, yes, I can do it, and that's where I did it, and that's the impact that I caused. So, and that's where kind of like I mentioned about storytelling is learning to talk about yourself, learning to talk about what you do and what is the value, what is the impact, and talking about it in terms of telling a story. And that's where I'm gonna bring it to a template, a system that I made, and I will give. It will be offered to everyone that in the bootcamp. So let me switch to it right now. So, and this is my become job ready system. And you will see that it is a system that I created to help people with like the job search. There's a profile that will be what we talk about today, and that will be about how to present, that will help you to present yourself better. There's a company and job that's help to tracking your job application. There's a build professional relationship that's gonna help with building, connecting with people and reach out to people and have a log of all of those. So let's go with the profile and thinking about presenting yourself. After the inward reflection, after the exploring what you the thing you can do and your skills, and you choose one, two, three titles. So I have the profile part in terms of like, so and here we can have like, we put your picture so you can see your picture. This will be a professional summary, a summary of like what you doing and what you want to do and your skill and all that. So it's a professional summary. This part is gonna be the LinkedIn headline. And one thing I will say about LinkedIn headline, please, anything that have aspiring or junior, remove them. If you're looking for a software engineer, well, just put a software engineer. Don't put aspiring software engineer. You want to show your value as you can do it. And even if you don't feel like you that yet. The reason a lot of people don't feel that they are, for example, a software engineer yet is because they might have the first job yet. And they're like, I'm not in the job yet. I don't have the title yet. It's not the job that define your title. If you're someone that's been building, kind of like creating software, and you create a one, two, three project and been building by your own, you're doing the job already. You might not doing it for someone, or they might not paying you for it yet, but you're doing the job already. So that's why it's good to put the title itself. And there you can add your resume, a PDF, your resume, and you list out the skills in this part. What if you have web development, like React, HTML, CSS, the skill that you have, you listed out. Here is your LinkedIn URL, GitHub URL. If you have a website, you put it there. If you have a specific industry you're interested about, finance, healthcare, or technology, you put it there. And any other thing that you think that, because this is a profile summary, you think that you need to add in your profile. Now, the next thing about it is your objective and strength. That's where the objective and strength and the values part, that's where it's the focus on to see like which value that you bring. So an objective, you want like this, the targeted position is like the title you want to have for the job you're looking for. The expected salary range. So you will see that I have uh different point for salary, because I think this is important for negotiation. So your expected salary range is the range that if you're doing research, so I can have also these levels that FYI, I don't know if people know about that, but it has been there for a while. So if you're doing research about your specific job and what is the salary for it in different for in different company. So let's say that let's say that you looking for a software front-end software engineer. You can see that there's a different salary for this software engineer. That's the median income. But one thing too, I will tell you about salaries is first, it's depend on the company the location. The first is depend on the company. A bigger company, a lot of time I have more salary than smaller ones. And startup, depend on the startup, they might have higher than smaller. So it's depend on the company. Second is depend on location. If you live in New York like me, it's a lot higher than someone who is in Colorado, for example. So you have to consider that also when you're looking for salary information. So let's say for here for software engineer, you also see the level for it. So for example, for Walmart, the entry level will be L1. And you can see and you click on it like the salary for that. And as I say, all of the salary is depending on location also. And you can see that a lot of the time for companies, especially in technical company, there's salary, there's stock or equity, and there's bonuses. So if you're thinking about what is in your coming in your paycheck, that's the base salary. When you might see a number that is like 400K, and the base salary is 200K. That means it's 200 that come into a paycheck, and the other 200 is either bonuses or stock. So you have to be sure about that. And you might choose to in the system to add the base salary to be more thinking about more specific in terms of numbers. So the expected salary range, so if for example I say like for front end, it can be from 90 to 150, like that's our range. The preferred salary, the reason I put that is like if it was the best job you had and the salary you want, what's that number? That's the preferred salary. The acceptable salary is your I would say is your less the number that you will say kind of like it's less than what I prefer, but I will accept it. And that's your lower range in terms of like if you're in an interview and you negotiating, that's the range you're gonna say, I'm not gonna go lower than that. I'm talking about what you're going to say. The considerable salary, I put it there, is sometimes you might find a company that you like, or you might find something that you want to get it now, you get the offer now, and is less than the acceptable, but you can consider it. And if you do all the negotiation and they cannot go higher, and you can consider to accept that one. But the number I would say when you negotiate in that matter is those numbers. What is your expected range, preferred salary, acceptable salary, and the considerable one will be the one that you keep to yourself that you thinking that if it doesn't get to those value, I can consider that one. And industry, location, the top 10 company you prefer, uh the target companies might be part of the 10. It might be other companies that you right now targeting to get a job in. The strength is when you're talking about skills, we're talking about the skills that you are strong on. And for this one, I purposely make it different than the skills on top of that. The skill on top is your technical skill. The strength will be more interpersonal and people skill. Like you're a problem solver, you are someone that learn a lot, you're someone that read a lot and can bring a lot of other ideas. You're a critical thinker, those kind of strength. And those help a lot when you're talking about yourself during behavioral interviews. Your values, what do you what it valuable for you is integrity valuable for you, is honesty valuable for you, and other values that it is. So this will help in terms of like alignment with company. If you want to work in a company that your values align, you have your own, and you can check on the company website to see what is their own values. That's when you can say, okay, this company align with my values. If I want to work there, and I can apply for that. And sometimes you might not want to apply based on values. So it's your own choice in terms of that. Weaknesses. When I'm talking about weaknesses, I'm talking about something that you feel less confident about, you feel you're still learning, or you feel have a lack of, you struggle with it all the time. And one thing about weakness is when you're talking about it, you can you don't have to work on all of your weaknesses, but you can decide which one to work and improve on, and you can decide the other ones you can always see how you can create a system or put something in place to manage that. So, and when they ask question about weaknesses, you can say what is your weakness, and also tell about either the way you improving it right now, or what you doing or what you're doing right now that help you manage it. So, and for example, like you can have like weakness in public speaking, you can have weakness in time management and overthinking and all of that. So, and when you mention that and you're talking about it, you can also talk about how I'm working right now to manage that, to do this and this. The challenge that I can solve part. This is really important in terms of presenting yourself. A lot of time, especially when we're thinking about technical skills, we think about what we can do with it, but not what it can solve. Uh, every company, almost every company, almost every business, they have a problem they're solving, and they might have also different things they need to solve, to work on, and all that. This part is thinking from the people side, from the business side, what problems they need to solve, and that me as a developer, as a web development, I can solve. So for example, one problem that, let's say, for a landing page, creating a landing page, what does it solve? If someone need uh to bring client to the company, to get a user email and get a list of people, that's the business problem itself. So you connecting that with with the can do landing page part, that's how you can show that actually, if you want someone to, if you have a business and you want more clients, I can do this and create a landing page that's gonna attract more people. So that's, you see, that's how you connect your skill with the uh with what they're trying to solve. And there's a lot of time for, even for a job, that's how you go about it. You know your skill, you know the project you work on, and you can say in the job description what they're trying to do, and then you do the connection of, okay, you're trying to do this, that's why I can do it because I've been doing this, and I have this skill, and I have this skill. So you're showing how you can help them, how you can solve their problem. So, and that's where you're gonna list the problem and connect the business need and connect them to your skills. Preference. If you have preference for a specific type of culture, company culture, of specific benefits, I have it right here where you have a list. You have the must have, that non-negotiable. A company, if I'm going to a company, it must have it. They would like to, is like the thing that you would like to have, but if they don't have it, that's not gonna be a big deal. They don't want is what you like. For sure, if some company have that, I'm not going there. The don't care, the don't care is more like it's not that you do not care about it, but it's more like that you if they have it or they don't have it, it doesn't matter for you. So having those set up at first can help you in aligning yourself with the company that you would like to work for. And the last part of it is achievement and stories. As I said before, I was talking about like think about what you did, think about your school, your career, your community, and talk about friend about what you accomplished. So here in the achievement, you can list out everything you done in the project, everything you done in terms of school, in terms of work. And the my stories part, it will say about take one thing that you done or you work on and try to write a story about it. And it can be as short or as long as you want. The thing I want, the reason I say that is like when you write a story about you starting to recall what you did, why you did something, and have a story, that might help you to get better and realize what you actually done. And this might, you can take the key words and key points and put it together to create one bullet in your resume. So let me start to show you one example because I myself using it for me. So let me show what I have for myself. So far, is there any question? Okay, if there's no question, let me show what I have. Like, oh, I put it for me in terms of like, and that helped me with like when I'm doing behavioral interview, especially. So I have it on my second screen, and if I don't remember something, look at it and see it. So you see that I have my summary resume. Yes, yes, I will help like to create and to have it to like ask question to get you more to help you get more out of you because there's a lot of things you might not think about if you don't have specific questions. So I'll do that during the one-on-one mentorship. So this is my summary professional summary. I have like probably changing that because my LinkedIn headline is different right now. So and then the resume, the skill, front-end development, full stack, my LinkedIn, my GitHub website the industry I'm interested about. There's other thing that I work on that probably I could get into AI and sustainability. And you can see here, I have the targeted position, the expected salary, the preferred one, the acceptable, the considerable. And industry location, top 10 company, target, and I have here my strength, problem solver, continuous learning. I also put other thing, active listening, and values. And me as Christian, I put verse that related to those values. You can have and the way you want, you can customize it the way you want to. So integrity, excellence, service, innovation, reliability, weaknesses that I'm working on. I haven't put the challenge yet, so don't worry if you don't have everything at once when you're working on it. It's something that is go with you that you can change as you change in stuff. Like, and you can see here I have the culture, what it must have, what I look like would like to, and what I don't care about. Benefits also, achievement. You see, listed all of like the project I work on and everything and stories. There's one. This one is about this project right here. And if I go into it, you see that I write like 3 paragraphs of a story. And this 3 paragraph of story, I will connect it with let me open the resume, this resume right here. It's not the most updated one, but This three paragraph of stories, that's what create the first bullet point right here. That's what create the first bullet point right here. Because from that story, I can see what I'm working on, what was the impact, and all that. It create the first bullet point, and and probably let me see. No, yeah, it is just the first bullet point right here. And And I also have the story available in terms of like, I can relook at it and see which interview question, behavioral interview question is answer. And I do have a story there that can show it and I can talk about it. So that's the example about like creating a profile, and all of that can translate to a resume and to LinkedIn. So, and you, for people in the bootcamp, I will send an email about having the template available to download. So there's more instruction that I'm putting into it. No, use the manager for Notion. Recruiters. So Notion itself is a software that make it easier to do note taking and organizing. But when I'm thinking about the profile, if you're talking about the profile, it's more about how to present yourself. And I will go right here in terms of resume and LinkedIn. So resume, there's a few tips I will give about resume. So the first one is when we're doing a bullet resume, you need to show impact in your contribution, not just what you did. A lot of the time we have a list of what we done, but we don't have what was the reason for it, what was the problem it solved, what was the impact, and what was the contribution. And that's the first tip. And the other part is you don't need to have every single job, skills, project, or what you're working on. When you're looking at the job description, see what is relevant to the job and what is recent. So those are the thing about that. Go into LinkedIn, and when talking about the audience, I will say the main audience is not so much about thinking about recruiters or thinking about LinkedIn specifically, but is showing yourself what values you bring and what you can help people with. And that can go related to a company that you're gonna work with, or it can be related to if you decide to do something yourself. Because when we're doing web development, there's different paths you can take. You can go for a job, you can do freelancing, or you can do your own software. So depending on what you're doing in terms of that, you can still, and all of those three, you can still need to present yourself as what value I'm bringing. So, and that will help with like recruiters can look, and especially for the LinkedIn and line, recruiters can look for those specific keyword. And but it's also a matter for the other people, other engineer, because the decision, for example, the decision to hire you is made by the hiring manager, not the recruiter. The recruiter is just getting people and see which people that is better qualified for the role. And then when you have the interview and talking with the hiring manager and the other manager, if they have one specific people or a team, they decide who's gonna get the job. So that's why you have to be able to present yourself and how valuable you are. So, and LinkedIn tip is engage on LinkedIn. Engage on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is I remember I have a mentor that told me that you use the social part of social media. I and that's one thing that I actually never I started thinking that, oh, I never think about it that way. LinkedIn is a social media platform. So that's mean you have to also the way, I don't know if you are social or not, but the way you are and the world and interaction with people, you also have to show that on the media platform, social media platform. For example, LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is focused on professional. And if you want to go to other platform, you can do the same. But in terms of that, if you doing LinkedIn, engage on LinkedIn, comment on posts that you are interested about, comment on people's what they posting about, you find it useful, or you can add your own take onto it. Post on LinkedIn, engage with people or DM people, connect with people, share about what you're doing, what you're working on, what you're learning. So for example, right now if you like go into the bootcamp and you're learning about that, right now you can share posts on LinkedIn about, oh, I went to this bootcamp and I'm learning about this different thing. And the other thing about the profile and presenting yourself, make it easy for people to see your value right away. So because one thing about it, so let me go to my LinkedIn profile. Because one thing about it is usually, recruiters or people don't take that much time on either your resume or your LinkedIn. Oh, I didn't put the colon before after the CTPS. They don't take that much time in either your resume or LinkedIn. So they might take about 10 seconds to look for your in your resume, and that it need to be easy for them. It need to be easy for them to it need to be easy for them to see, okay, at first, what is the value, what do you bring? So in terms of LinkedIn, the first thing, even if it's not your image, even if something else, put our image in the spot right here. So there's sometime the cover image. There's sometime LinkedIn might give you option. You can choose the option. If you have image, sometimes a lot of people get a better interaction, a better result, see them as more valuable when they have image of them doing something on the cover. Have your profile image. Have your profile image, and the headlines should have what you do. So for me, I'm helping developer launch their careers. I'm a front-end engineer, and I know about API and AI integration to web application, web development, career growth. So from the headline, they can see what you do and which role you're looking for. Well, so if a recruiter go to a resume, they're gonna see a profile, they're gonna see thing, the summary, the about part. We remember about the summary, this summary. I changed it because there's a lot I'm doing right now. This summary, put it as the first thing that you do. Because you will see here it's only have 3 lines. And a lot of the time most people are not gonna click on see more. So the head, like the what is started need to be something that you do or a way to contact us. They already see that. And if you have some posts or if you have something that is also valuable that show your value, add it to the featured. And and also add the part about this. Let me see the skills. Where are the skills? Yes, those skills. Every single skill you have, add it. But you can reorder it. So for the skill that relevant to your role, it show at the top because you only see two ones. But every single skill you have added. The reason for that is a lot of the job on LinkedIn and the researchers, they are also are related to your skill. So if you have a skill and if you ever get a premium, I did have premium, but I removed the premium because I don't see the value or the difference for that. You will see that it tell you this job is a fit for you because you meet this amount of skill that they also have. So there's a connection between the skills section and the job itself. So make it in a way that if someone go to your LinkedIn profile and just scan it, they can see how valuable you are. Because most likely they're not gonna click on any of the CMO. Is there any question on that? Okay, so if there's no question, let me go back to PowerPoint. So okay, the GitHub profile. The reason this is optional, you don't have to do it, but I wanted to show this trick a little bit. This trick. So when you go on GitHub, the same way I show about repository. So if you go in your profile, that's the way the profile look. And if you want to show to be able to see your work, if you're working on a project when it's not confidential or not something really private, make sure the repository is public. You see, all of those is based on public repository contribution. If it's private, they're not gonna be able to see anything. But what I wanted to show is if I decide to, you can see the username right here. That's my username. If I decide to create a repository, I create a repository and I give it the name of my username. This it's become a special repository where anything that I put on the README, I'm gonna add a README, I click on add a README and I create. Anything I put on the README, so let me modify it right here. Hi there, I'm Eli. And I commit the changes, introduction, add in my name, and commit changes. Now, if I go to my profile, it's showing here on top. There's a lot of people that use it to create to add a kind of like a cover page to create an introduction about themselves and GitHub. So if you want to do something like that in your profile, add your profile, add it to GitHub to talk about you, you can use your username, create a repository with your username name, and you can show it here in your profile. Is there any question about that? I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so networking tips, and I think after the networking tips, there's like two things. Networking, one thing that me myself, I had trouble to do that, but I started to do it now, is starting to network with people you already know. Your family, your friends, your community, your old classmates, old coworkers. If you don't have them on LinkedIn, send them a request on LinkedIn, and you most likely gonna have a response back. And about networking, especially on LinkedIn and DM, a lot of the time it is a kind of how you say numbers game in terms of like you if you reaching you might reach out to 100 people and 10 people answer you back. It's not that it's don't take it personal, but this might be different thing happening, and they might have not answering to people that they don't know, or they might have not time to busy, or especially for recruiter, they might have a lot of people that DM them, and is the inbox is so full that they don't even take time to answer. And that way, you're doing that. And something I would like to do, I like everyone here to start networking right now by sending your LinkedIn on the chat and connect with each other. So I'm gonna put my LinkedIn here. I'm gonna start to put it my LinkedIn here. So as you already have a point of connection with which is this bootcamp. So that way everyone I would like you to start networking right now by connecting with put your LinkedIn on the chat and connecting with each other. I'll give a few minutes, a few seconds to do that. So while you're doing that in the chat, so after your friends, family, your community, classmates, or coworkers, you can also reach out to people in the roles or field that you're interested about, you quit about, or that doing something that you find fascinated and interested. It can be engineers, managers, recruiters, and as I mentioned about the engagement part, a lot of time if you a lot of time you can start by commenting on their post on what they're doing. You might don't want to like send a request right away, but you start engaging with them with the comment and all that, and then send a request. And if you meet someone in an event and you connect with them on LinkedIn, either after the event or by the next day, send them a follow-up message. So, and send them a follow-up message about like you were glad to connect with them and you were interested about this, and ask for a coffee chat. Can we have a coffee chat for 15 and 20 minutes to discuss, to learn more about you, to learn more about what we're doing, or to learn more about how I can get to this company and all that. So take those opportunity as an opportunity to build with relationship, to learn, to get more information, not just as I want to get a job and I connect with this person. This can be done, but think more about it, because this can be done in terms of like if the person have a job right now, but think more about it in terms of like if the person doesn't have a job, can I have can I still talk with them, and can they also lead me to other people? So kind of like during the coffee shop, you can ask about, is there anyone else you can connect me with about this and this? So that's one of the things that about like networking, like you connect with people, and the people that connect with can connect with other people. I remember I had a coffee chat with someone, and while we're talking, we realized that we actually have another person in common that we know. So those are how you build relationship, you build a network that not only, especially when it's a genuine relationship, it can help you go better. And I will say, for example, this boot camp, I would say is a kind of a result of that. It kind of like there's a lot of people, I think, based on my network, or not based on my network. There's a lot of people that directly, if I was reaching out directly, I wouldn't know about that program if it wasn't repost or published by or put by other communities or other people that I've been working with or I know. So that show how networking can help you with whatever you're doing. Yeah. Okay. Is there any more people that want to share their LinkedIn? I have two so far. So the last point I think before I'm done and is for a few minutes, we gonna go over for a few minutes, and this is the last point, is building in public. And that's when talking about share whatever you're doing. So if you're working on a project, you have an idea, you have a small wins, you done something, share it on LinkedIn. Post about it. You learning something, you learn a new concept or something, I will post about it. And don't wait to be an expert. I think that's something that I've done. That's why I didn't start with it earlier. Because I remember I since I was in college, I have an idea about starting a blog. And I was like, oh, I don't have the knowledge yet. Let me wait for like when I have like and I'm an expert and I can talk about this and all that. So I never started in college. And I start to work at IBM. The idea is still in my mind, but start to think about something else, which is thinking about I don't know anything about what's gonna be the confidentiality issue, what's gonna be the kind of like conflict of interest and all that. And I didn't start it until now. I haven't started with blog, but I do a lot of more because I'm the kind of person that doesn't do much in social media. In the term of like I don't post. I can watch, I can look at what been done. If I like it, I like it. I don't even comment. And until I was like, let me start this year, let me start something. Let me start posting on LinkedIn for a month. And then I start to posting about what I'm doing, posting about I'm doing webinar, posting about a project that I'm working on, which I'm gonna start again with it next week because I did take a break and working on that project. And that's when I start to have more interaction, start to connect with more people because I realizing now you starting to see more people that are either interested about what you're doing or doing something similar. And I start to now thinking about just not waiting to be an expert. There's a lot I know a lot because I've been working as a software engineer for 5 years, but I know that also there's a lot more that I don't know that I'm learning. But as I'm learning, I can post, I can talk about it and create more a community, create an environment where like I either someone give me something that I learn more, or I know people that interested that are connected and all that. So all of this build your brain, build your credibility, and get people to know your value, to know for what you can do and what you're doing. So is there any question? Okay. So let me, and one thing I will say and on when you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, if you know the person, I think it depends on the person. Some people, it doesn't matter for them if you send a personal invite or you send directly. But the way I go about that is if I know the person and the person know me in a way that if they see my profile that I send a request, they're gonna accept. I don't send a personal invite. But if I just meet the person or the person doesn't know me, I do. I don't send a direct connection. I send a personal invite about where about I'm glad to meet the person. Where did I meet it? And I would like to connect for a specific reason or for connection or for something else. And what do that? What does the personal invite do is as soon as you accept it, is go directly to the direct message and they can see it. And they kind of like introduce like the start of a conversation in the DM. So now if they answer back, you can continue to talk with the person and to then ask for the coffee chat. Okay, so if there's no question, I will say that talking about for tomorrow, we're gonna talk more. We're gonna talk about what's next, what like to prepare for in terms of like having the system. I'm gonna go over more about the rest of the become just job ready system, like the company and just job part and building relationship part, and talking again about the mentorship. So if you are interested for the mentorship program, the deadline to apply is July 31st. And for this week only and until July 21st, we have a special offer for $1,000 for the people that apply now until July 21st. And if and there's also a payment plan available, making it flexible. So the one-on-one mentorship program will be from August 11th to October 11th, so 8 weeks. 2 months where we're gonna have one-on-one mentorship talking about helping you with the jobs with the system, helping you with your resume, your LinkedIn, and you're gonna have different roadmap into your career roadmap in terms of like interviews that help you to prepare for landing your next job. So that's it for today. Thank you for everyone that coming that attend today. And I would like to see you tomorrow for the last day and congratulations on finishing the bootcamp. I hope that you learn a lot and that it will help you to be more confident and ready to to job search and apply for work and getting your new role. You're welcome.